game here. Now, Cog still has a chance to force the split, which would be just the worst.
No, see, here's the thing. Fall split, teams play each other twice.
Oh, that's true.
So I want to split.
You want to split?
I want to split so the grudge match is still alive.
What if they split twice, though?
Then we just have them fist fight at Worlds.
I got money on Pern.
No, we've got them
like
in
a house.
Remember when we had you in the spring fling in the sumo suit against Bart?
Yes.
We'll have them do that.
It hurt a lot.
We'll have Pern v Pain in the sumo suits.
Before that started, me and Bart did rock, paper, scissors to see who was going to take the loss, and I lost, and I'm like, just slam me, dude. And he did not hold back.
Oh, can I go next?
No, I'm good.
Geb being banned out from Enemy, and Wukong being banned out by Cognitive. Geb, ban. Talk to me, Brandon.
Geb ban smart here, right? Making sure that Aurora doesn't have the ability to protect his team. When he picked Sylvanus, that was the problem. He didn't have peels for his team. Sure. There was no way to keep his team alive. Had he had a Geb shield at the end of that game, Best probably would have been able to pull the trigger, but that wasn't the case. We're going to see Wukong, Bologna, Janus also taken away. First option to Enemy.
No surprise as far as those other options, and Enemy going to pick up the Athena. Again, no real surprise. Pain to Beyond has really made a name for himself with this Athena pick. Historically, maybe not, but recently, very much so.
So Athena going to be locked in. Cognitive has two options here. They're going to run back the Sylvanus. All right.
Again, Sylvanus is a great character, and again, I'll say it. What doesn't work for you game one doesn't necessarily dictate how game two is going to go.
Sometimes you just got to have the run back.
Exactly. I'm a huge proponent of, yes, I messed up, and now I have empirical data as to what to change to succeed next time. So we'll see if it works out alongside the Isis and Medusa again for Enemy. That 1-2 punch of look at me, haha, you're looking at me.
See, going back to what F. said about, getting that run back going, I always look to fighting games for that. Because in a MOBA, it's expected that you have 12 to 15 characters in your god pool at any given time. In fighting games, you generally have one. Maybe two.
I just play Yoon.
Right,
that's it.
Exactly.
I'm not going to play Akuma.
We have seen top 8 Street Fighter players get perfected 2 rounds in a row, get the run back, and then win the set with the same character. It will happen. You got to shake it off. You got to run it back. And with that, we're going to see Thor locked in, but Chaos is going to run the Agni. So far, Enemy has the exact same roster. Of course, they've lost the Thor, so they won't be able to have a full run back, but they have the Athena Medusa, which in my opinion was key to their victory in Game 1.
The Thor for Cognitive Gaming, again, no comms. We can't hear what these players are saying. I hope that this is just because Cognitive, that DJ Pernicus wants to play this Thor, because Wiggles didn't play poorly, Brandon, but there was no I didn't get impressed by that Thor.
See, for me, I think Thor and Agni are like the exact focal points of balance. I think both of the characters are large in a way where the rest of the game should be balanced around. They're not first pick, first ban material, but you could pick them at third or fourth and still have them be great. You can still pick them first.
No one's going to laugh at you if you ban them in the second round.
Right, exactly. They're great characters to pick up. Now we're going to see Enemy take Osiris here. Salt Machine going to try to take this away and fight into whatever Meerkat's going to pick here. I love the Kali pickup.
The Kali pickup. The Kali is
beautiful.
So Kali is spicy in the sense that we don't see her a lot, but perfect in the sense that these games last much longer than we're used to.
So we're going to see Wukong coming out from Meerkat. Okay, so they're gonna switch it up a little bit. Xbalanque coming out for Kabam. Slightly different rosters on both sides, but the keys are largely the same.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, it's more about these teams really have their identity. So when you're looking at Enemy, you really want to take a look at how powerful and potent this Medusa ultimate can be in the heat of the moment. Can you get 3 or 4 stuns? The fights that Enemy wound up winning, Brandon, came off of Vedium doing absolute work with that. Now, Kabam and the Xbalanque, we saw Cupid first. We saw Xbalanque second. These are characters that haven't really been celebrated recently. Why is Kabam going this route? Is he a player that likes to play off-meta things, or are these just intelligent choices?
It's hard to say. I mean, this is a Hunter player to me that is large in a way a textbook player. He focuses on his, advanced mechanics and just tries to outplay his opponent.
Exactly.
For him, Xbalanque, this means that he's going to try to get through the early game as well as possible. The issue for me here is that the last game, their early game was dominated when they had the advantage. This time, they're going into a much weaker lane, so it's going to be a little bit harder. He needs to be very careful, and anytime that there's a kill opportunity, he has to take the risk.
You need those stacks on the passive. I mean, if you start getting those stacks later in the game, the earlier you get 5 because That's the thing with Xbalanque passive. 5 damage is much different early than it is late.
So it looks like Meerkat's going to try to control. Oh, and he's going to start it? Are they baiting it?
No, this is the adjustment. Enemy cleared those mid camps last game. Cognitive
I did not expect Enemy to walk away from that so freely.
I like it. Enemy cleared those mid camps last game. Cognitive noted it, and this time around, they take them right away. They force a change in game plan.
But they also heard the cudgel go off, meaning they should have had the opportunity for the execute. Berserker Barrage is not an execute. However, a long-range lash into Spirit Flail guarantees that they take less damage, and they should have been able to take that. So they take the less risky route, but they are going to be behind as a result.
Right, and again, it just changes up their game plan a little bit. Even if it's not as efficient, in this case it was, even if it's not as efficient, Brandon, changing up what your opponent plans to do, the choreography in the beginning of the game, can put you on a wrong foot.
So far control belongs to Cog, but I'm expecting Blue to make an attempt here. Yeah, nice dash through from Pain. A lot of damage, good clear, and this is going to give it back to them.
Yeah, and the dash through the wave is important as well. Don't forget the block portion of Athena's passive.
That's right.
Dashing through the wave is going to build that up, much like, little small fact, did you know Apollo's dash will build up Audacity ticks?
That's true. That's true. Pain of Yon still getting pushed out, though. Kabam controlling that. There's still a few shots coming at him, but he dodges them well. Pain of Yon, though, not taking a lot of damage. Aurora is the one who suffers the brunt.
Yeah, Vicium really getting the maximum poke. And I mean, that's what you expect out of the Medusa with the acid spray. You're basically gonna get wet. But Vedium also nailing the basic attacks. Just barely getting out of range of that
Oh
pull.
my, that was the tickle right there.
Stop.
He's a little tickle on the back. He's like, I almost got you. Come on.
No, Kabam is actually the player's name playing Xbalanque, not come on.
Aurora still taking a lot of damage, though. More damage coming through. Again, really good clear. And you'll notice Pain actually attacks Aurora to group the creeps out.
That Lacerate is toast! Vedium gets first blood. That Lacerate does so much damage, people underestimate it.
You know, that right there was just 100% a mistake by Aurora. He was a range character focusing too close to melee range, and we saw it, right? Pain hits him to bring the melees back to the archers into the shield wall by using the reach, and then taunts him into the shield wall too. And since he doesn't have an escape mechanic, Vedium just dives in, gets him with the root, and they just apply enough damage for the second game in a row.
First blood coming out of Vedium. 2 games in a row in that long lane. Wow.
And that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt big time. Medusa takes a quick trip back to the base. Is going to have the Curse Gauntlet online, so she'll have a damage advantage as well. This is a good spot for her to be in.
As we take a look at the solo lane, I feel like, what's the term, deja vu? The players are different, but the gods are in the exact same situation. Salt Machine piloting Osiris right now, just pushing Sun Wukong Meerkat onto the tower, no problem.
Osiris' control at this stage is very powerful, and he's utilizing it well. Meerkat continuously trying to back. He's sending sickles and spirit flails repeatedly to stop it, to make sure that he's maybe not getting experience, but gold stripped away as much as possible.
Well, Salt Machine really nailing those sickles as well. The sickle actually has a deceptively short throw range. It's smaller than Thanatos' scythe.
Look at this, Salt Machine once again pushing it in, even with the back, and yeah, he's going to stop again.
Yep.
It's another 25 gold thrown to the wayside. There's
but
50.
Here's Thor.
Thor has to clear. They can't afford to lose any more gold.
No, they'll go ahead and clear. And
that was a 75 gold loss again.
DJ Perdiccas is here more as assistance than an actual gank. It's important to know that they're not looking for the kill. Enemy might be with 3 people deep in this right-hand lane, but Thor was not looking for the gank. Just looking to push some enemies off of the tower.
This is pretty free. It looks like, yeah, they're going to take this one. They're going to try to counter-initiate, though. DJ Perdiccas has overcommit, and yeah, that will be a free kill.
Everybody's here. Looks like Best is in trouble as well. Isis, the circle of protection is down, but it's just not enough. Salt Machine will go ahead and clean up the kill for his team. 3-0, enemy off to a great start. Meerkat forced into the ult. Here comes a roar. Great blink over the wall. Can they clean it up? Chaos is low. Wisps get him down. Meerkat still alive. Not anymore. Salt Machine takes him out. And now Aurora. Salt Machine's very low. Aurora might be able to get a kill, but he remembers that he's got damage as well. Guardian Aurora picks up his second kill in just 30 seconds. 2-1-0. for the support player.
Now, we still don't know who Wiggles' target is. Now, we did see DJ Pernicus and the best, and I think Meerkat all die right there, but they died staggeredly, which means we don't actually know who the target has swapped to. At this point, money could be on Kabam, as he was the only one who hasn't died, but it's not 100% a safe bet. We have to just assume at this point, and that's all we can do.
You know what happens with assuming?
No, I don't. Why don't you tell everybody?
Something
good talk, man.
Not good stuff.
Yep. Nice job.
Thanks, man. I do what I can.
Yeah.
Blue buff secured 4 enemy on the right-hand side. 4-2 are the kills since Cognitive did pick up 2. So they have stopped the bleeding a little bit. It's important that those 2 kills did come, but unfortunately, they're on a roar.
So what we need to see here from the side of Cognitive is major attack speed reductions. We're talking Frostbounds, Enfeebling Curses, Midgardian Mails, Witchblades. These things have got to come out. Hell, you could even go into the shield. What's the shield? It reduces attack speed now.
Runic?
Runic Shield, yes. Does 50 power magical and the attack speed. They could even go that route. They need to get that stuff online.
At the very least, an Enfeebling.
Yeah, they need at least 2 forms. They have 3 base auto attackers here with Osiris, with Kali, and Medusa. Shutting that damage down by 30 to 40% is more than any other defense is going to give you.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it in the last game, and there wasn't a Kali. Now there's a Kali on Osiris' team. 2 characters that aren't hunters that are dependent on basics. That's a big deal. In the middle lane, great Spirit Ball onto Kali. Wiggles able to get out of there, no problem with the jump. But Cognitive Gaming will be able to pick up these right-hand mids.
Pernicus trying to protect here, still has his stun available. Oh, I'm sorry, no he doesn't. But they don't want to fight into 3 teams. They do now that they have a 4-man rotation. But they're not going to find anything.
Salt Machine just a step too late. Double taunt from Pain to Beyond. Up in the air thanks to Aurora. Best drops a great ultimate. Wiggles the Bay. Wiggles the death. The best gets to kill.
Well, if there's any bright side, or at least for the casters, we do know who the target is now. The target will have switched to best.
So watch out for these ganks on Isis. She will be a little more susceptible to the Kali. Even early on, I mean, you said it to me off air, I think.
It's a lot of penetration.
Last week, Brandon. Everybody talks about Kali being late game, which she definitely is, but Lash always does damage.
Lash does a lot of damage. At this point, she has 18% flat penetration right now to her, and she's going into attack speed. We're probably going to see an Iqbal here, going a little bit off meta, but still should do a decent amount of damage. While it's not going to help her shut down the damage from Isis, the invulnerability should help a lot. What we need to see from Kali, beads got to get maxed early.
I like the Iqbal. It's a bridge item. You see the Iqbal, and then most of the time it's followed up by that chin size rather than just have the chin size sort of forcing it. That can be a lot of gold to obtain in a small amount of time for your second item.
Salt Machine throws the sickle into the wall here. Meerkat should have a small chance to battle. Movement speed increase from the Spirit Flail shouldn't allow him to stick, and you can see, Meerkat going to be forced to use those animals early. But he still gets most of the creeps there.
Yep, Ox doing a lot of work right here. Salt Machine has that Spirit Flail maxed, going into the sickle now. No points into Lord of the Afterlife. So not really looking to jump on people and start dealing damage.
All right, left side, camps have spawned. Pandavion going to force Aurora away. This should go to blue for free.
Yeah, Aurora's here. Not too much confirm, as we saw Aurora last match take him down by himself. So these go to enemy, no problem. Right ones went to Cognitive, don't forget, earlier on. 4-3 read the kills, and the game is all but tied.
Teleport used by Meerkat. Going to be stuck in this lane now. 4-minute cooldown. Still belongs to Salt Machine. His teleport's also coming back up online in 30 seconds.
Sort of a lull in the action now, Brandon. Teams just getting their farm on. Most of these characters on the side of enemy, they don't have a problem with this. Yeah. Wiggles wants to take as much time as possible, as does Salt Machine's Osiris. These are characters that want to sort of sit in the oven and then come out later. On the side of Cognitive, sort of a similar situation with Kabam's character, but the rest of the team doesn't really read that to me immediately.
Right. I mean, Wukong, while he functions well in the end game, is best in the mid. Thor, best in the mid. Isis, pretty much good all around.
Right.
Aurora's Sylvanus, definitely best in the mid in early games. And then, of course, second most late game character in the game is Xbalanque, only to Kali. Whereas left side is just like, they have 3 really strong end game gods.
Yeah, Xbalanque does so much, especially if you mentioned it before, if those 6 kills come online to give him that 35 power. It's a lot.
Left camp's going down here. Looks like this one's going to belong to red, and yeah, no rotation in time coming out from blue. Small victory there for Cog, which is what they need. The gold, though, is pretty much even. In fact, Cognitive with a small lead. Can we take a look at the graphs here? Oh, nope, after this.
Great ultimates put out by Isis.
Blown up.
Wiggles gets taken out immediately. DJ Pernicus, just one member of the 4-man gank squad that Cognitive put there right in the middle lane to put Kali back behind just a little bit. And there's those graphs that you asked for. Gold looks great. Experience a different story, but Gold Fury.
Check out Pernicus with a beautiful rotation. Chaos getting double stunned, double tapped, and slapped right there. Silence not going to hit. Spirit Ball, however, and that will guarantee the kill. Great use of the Wrath of Terra to secure the Agni. Pernicus in the air, trying to control, and they're going to turn their sights to a what seems like free Gold Fury.
That play, Brandon, that sequence,
perfect.
That's what Cognitive needs to do. That is each player understanding their role and executing it perfectly. You had a wall, you had a stun, you had a blink, you had an initiate. That's exactly what Cognitive needs to do. If we see even 3 more fights like that, that's the game.
I mean, that's what we should have been seeing in the previous game. Kabam right there stayed in the back line. Isis made sure to protect the Gold Fury.
Yep.
You know, Thor and Meerkat moving forward to make sure that they control the space, and Aurora blocking in front of them. It doesn't get any better than that.
Exactly.
That's the kind of play that you would run in a practice where you couldn't really dictate the fight because players wouldn't allow you to, but they controlled every part of it. If Cognitive, like you said, is able to do that repeatedly, it's possible that this game could end a lot earlier than we saw the last.
It's just so textbook. That was so clean. As a fan of the game, that's what we want to see. Your frontliners are zoning. Oh, I loved it. Enemy.
Left side camps, though. Small win right there for Blue, despite their small gold lead. We'll head back to the graphs here to show you guys just how things are shaping up. It was very close. Wiggles wound up falling in a very awkward position.
Machine in trouble on the right-hand side. Does have Athena channeling on top of him. DJ Pernicus might have made a mistake. Salt Machine says yes. DJ goes down, and Meerkat will back.
Well, DJ was also the target for Kali, so it's swapped once again. With DJ Pernicus getting the kill last time, they knew who Kali was going to run for. Now, this is actually a big win for enemy because they don't know where that extra penetration is going to go.
Aurora's here looking at the blue.
Let it go. Go build a snowman.
Stunned out, but the Xbalanque ultimate is enough to get in the heads of enemy because here comes the rest of Cog. Pull is good. Is the stun just as good?
Oh.
No! The ultimate from Aurora knocks the target into the sky, but the best picks up the kill nonetheless.
Another big win for Cog because now once again they know who Kali's gunning for. With Best picking up the kill, she is now marked for death.
So how do you play around that? Well, hold that thought. We'll see if enemy does engage. They do. Taunt onto the Best.
Here.
Shell is great. That's going to prevent a lot of the damage that enemy wants to deal. Over the top comes Meerkat with the Jingle Bong, but it's not enough. The Best is going to fall. Salt Machine takes the kill. Meerkat cleans up Chaos. 2 members on the side of enemy are down. Only
Kabam's
one
here.
for Cognitive is alive.
Oh, Kabam dropped the kill. Meerkat going to try to find it, and
it.
he will have it. There's no escape from that one. To the back line we go. VDM still trying to box out Aurora as we see Kabam rotate over. Salt Machine trying for the slow. Return slows. Blink in. Does he have the pull? Does he have it in time? No, doesn't have it.
Pull still on cooldown, unfortunately. It's a very long cooldown, but Cognitive Gaming will go ahead and push down this tower, no problem. Chaos and Pain still sitting out for about 10 seconds. The fight is still going on, though. Aurora.
Wiggles the Bay found his target there with DJ Pernicus giving himself a pretty decent boost right there, not to mention extra gold with that Cognitive hot on their heels. Going to be forced away once again. Athena coming in. They're not ready to let this one go just yet.
Wiggles has the Athena channel. The taunt is good if it's available, and there it is.
You
taunt
see the mana,
into the stun, into the lash, and Meerkat is not quite.
Does he have enough to get away, though? That's the thing. Neither of them, any of them, have any mana. Best finally joining up will have enough to control the front of this fight, but this tier 2 is really looking doomed here.
Thank you, Xbalanque.
Wait, are they...
That was a dead Meerkat, but Xbalanque pulls out the ultimate just in time.
Are they not going to go for the Fire Giant?
They are not, Brandon. They're going to go for mid-camps.
Are there wards over here that they would have noticed that? No. There are 0 wards, and given the rotation prowess, that looked to me like it would have been a free Fire Giant that they just gave away. Yep. Yeah, when they watch this replay, that's going to hurt.
Clear out the jungle is enemy's prerogative right now. Down about 400 gold. It was 1,800 before, so fight swings in
look at these lazy solo laners. 1 ward apiece. Jeepers.
When you're that tanky,
Yeah, I
needs
guess
to
it doesn't
know?
matter, right?
I mean, half the game you're going, well, I'm Osiris. Who's going to tank me? Who's going to gank me anyway?
Yeah, please come over here.
And if you do gank me, I'll jump away.
Or my team will go get the Gold Fury.
Right.
Speaking of the Gold Fury, she's up in a few seconds here.
Yes, she is. And teams should be positioning around it. Well, the Hunters are certainly here in their lane. Supports and enemy in general is here on the left-hand side. The only one not here for enemy is going to be their solo laner who's staying in lane. So this might be enemy's decision to go for the gold once she lands.
I mean, if they have the timer, and I don't know that they do, they should be rushing this down. They have the control. They definitely heard that scream.
Yep.
But no, VDM's going to lane.
Playing it safe.
Yep, nothing doing. That's going to be a better win right there for Cognitive. Granted, they started their rotation over. They probably could have contested. Enemy technically is still behind as well. Let's head back to the graphs here. You'll see that the game is pretty much even.
Yep. Well, the right graph is, Brandon. The left one, 3,800 or 3,400 experience, is going the way of enemy. But if you take a look at who they're on.
Meerkat's down a level, but Best and Aurora both have significant advantages over their counterparts.
Yep, that's really it. Vicium is even as well. Pain, 2 levels below. It's not going to matter too much, but where will that make an impact for the Guardian levels?
See, I'm going back towards the Hunters, like you said. They're even, and that's kind of a loss for Vicium because the more Kabam gets online, the harder it's going to be. He has increased range on his auto attacks. He swings harder between his passive, getting those extra stacks, although he doesn't have any yet. And then he still gets 50 extra damage on his base hits thanks to Branching Bolas, which means through the Viper shot, if he lands 6 hits and she lands 6 hits, it's going to be even. If he does any more than that, he starts destroying.
And that's without even taking into account the AoE damage of the poison from Xbalanque. Sure, you have acid spray out of Medusa, but it doesn't slow. It doesn't impact the team fights the way that Xbalanque can, and hopefully for Cognitive will.
Well, we're pressuring back down in the mid lane. You can see Cognitive throwing some control here as they, again, gesture towards the left side. Do they have a sentry ward? No, Aurora, I think his
None in the pockets.
No, yeah, it's not in the pocket right now.
Vicium has one. Chaos just dropped one, and no one else on the map has sentry wards.
Remember, you can place 2 sentry wards now per player. You can only carry one, but after those changes,
Blink in from Aurora, Pain to Beyond all by himself. Enemy needs to respond, and they need to respond now. Chaos dashes down, so is Pain, and he's out of the picture. Cognitive Gaming uses Aurora's ultimate and gains nothing.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, right? They sent Pain back, but he's going to have to use his ultimate to get back in there. And then Chaos took a lot of damage, was forced to back as well. They should force the fight here.
And that's exactly
what
they'll do.
This is a 3v5.
Here's the ultimate coming out of Athena, as you said. Expend the taunt into the Vedium ult.
4v5.
And Cognitive expected it, so they're going to fall back.
Whoa. 2 are engaging, 2 are completely out of position.
Thor in the air.
Pernicus trying for something here. Who is he going to look for?
Pain. Lands on Pain, gets him, hits him with the combo. No more Athena. Salt Machine trying to help out his support. Turns around the corner, spacing out Cognitive, but they're still here. 1 stun is good. Salt Machine picks up the second part of that double kill. Meerkat uses the Ox to knock everyone up, and still here enemy. 4 members deep. 1 for 2. That fight goes to enemy.
The big thing there was the exact opposite of what happened to Cognitive last game. Best threw down the ultimate and popped it way too early. He was doing it to help kill a support that they didn't really even need to shut down. They should have reinitiated to the back line, try to find a way to bait them in there. Aurora, there's no way he's getting away from this one. This is going to be a kill, and yeah, with that, enemy's going to probably take the lead because that Gold Fury is about to go down.
That Gold Fury, well, here comes Cognitive. He lasted long enough to go ahead and respawn. Meerkat, still very low. Salt Machine.
Chaos is pretty low himself. And no, yeah, the Gold Fury is going to stand. Successful defense from Cog, and back to the graphs we go. Yeah,
Cognitive just had too many too soon in the area. Tied up for all intents and purposes, separated by 3 digits in golden experience, which are basically irrelevant. 10-9, read the kills one more time. It's a tie game.
All right, so we're looking at the Gold Fury side again. I think this is just going to be a farm phase. Everyone's probably a little shaken after that last fight. Neither team really gaining much of anything.
Sure.
Although at the end of the day, we see enemies start gaining a little bit more in terms of golden experience. Map control doesn't really belong to anyone. And the small win that they got in experience generally evens the game out in a way that they didn't really need to. Pain of Beyond, though, out of position here. Good blink from Wiggles, though. Very smart.
Now, Blink Kali gives her so many options because you don't have to burn the jump to get
It's just like Wukong.
If Blink wasn't on that Kali, she would have been dead. Great choice of offensive actives.
Left side, looking a little bit more in trouble. VDM blocking out Aurora.
Roar.
He's taunted. He's stunned.
He's smashed. Ultimate is good from Aurora, but Pernicus lands a second too late. Not able to capitalize. Pain of Beyond hits him a little bit. Aurora misses a grab.
Right there, Chaos was very smart to beat and jump out of there as fast as possible. Had he been a quarter second late on that, he would have taken the double tap, and Pernicus would have controlled enough space in this to burn down the mid lane. This was very smart and good reaction time.
Lash thrown out by Wiggles, as is the jump. Not going to be completed, though. Salt Machine is here, facing two by himself.
Beautiful.
Taunt into the Medusa ult, but it's in a roar. And Best is at full HP, so no real impact from there. Well, Aurora might have to be back. Aurora might have to back here. That's the impact they're looking for.
Wiggles getting kind of low here. Still has his ultimate available to him. Do we know who the target is?
Oh, we don't. The last time Kali did. No, we don't.
All right. Salt Machine forced away. Meerkat trying to control. Did they steal the speed?
Yes.
They did. Another win for enemy. At this stage, stealing that away. Oh no.
No, Pernicus has it right now, as you can see on the spectator UI, and he's going to use it to go right in, put Pain to half HP, but
Best has not had the best game this time. The ultimates are getting used very quickly. He's popping them very early, not utilizing that 15% defense that we see a lot of the top ISIS players using. The Spirit Balls are not doing their max damage, or really any damage a lot of the time, and the silences are always late.
Best's tower is in trouble. That one will go the way of enemy. Another small win. You know, sure, Cog actually did get that speed buff, but this is how enemy is winning this game. They're making these small wins here and there, picking up pieces, and eventually they'll put together the puzzle if everything goes their way. Cognitive, on the other hand, they really need to just stop. They need to stop all of this, the slow bleed, because that's what's going on with Cognitive. And as I said, they have a Xbalanque, but that's all they have in the late game.
So looking at the graphs here, you'll see the enemy has taken the gold lead back. The experience in the other direction, about 800. Really, this is as close as you're going to see a game, right? In the Pro League. Having a 700 difference in either direction at 22 minutes is beyond negligible.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tie game.
Uh-oh, again, Pain of Beyond in a good spot here. Aurora has been separated from the pack again. He's in trouble.
Kali's on him. That's a lot of penetration, and Aurora falls down, and Vedium gets the kill off the assist of both Pain of Beyond and Wiggles to Bay. And now with everybody here alongside Chaos, this Gold Fury is being aggressed on. Already 50% HP. This one should go the way of enemy for free without any Cog intervention.
Salt Machine trying to move forward here. Meerkat again out of position. Nice use of the Ox, but he's locked, stocked, and blown up. Destroyed. And we'll go back for a pretty long respawn. Gold Fury gets taken away, and enemy takes a pretty demanding lead all of a sudden.
Meerkat's build is tanky. It's got the Mystical Mail. Still blown up. A lot of that damage coming out from Chaos, specifically. Chaos's build. I mean, the Spear is online, second item. We see this when you want to be just pure aggressive, getting that penetration second instead of third. It strips, as long as you're ahead, it can strip players down to near true damage if you maintain that lead, and that's what Chaos is trying to do.
Poor Kabam here, 0-0-4. The rest of his team all negative. As we take a look at Golden Hand, Kali in a really good spot, 1,500. Actually very close to finishing up that Fatalis. Yeah, there it is.
Got him.
There it is. So now she has Fatalis online, which is big. Next thing that we're going to want to see, Athena, she doesn't have Blink already. She could go there if she wants, but between her or Osiris, someone has got to pick up Heavenly Agility. There must be movement speed increases for Kali.
Kali used to be synonymous with chin size. Where are the chin size? Explain this build to me. I know it makes sense. I know the penetration is there, but why?
Well, with Sprint being nerfed, Fatalis is definitely core now.
Of course.
With the penetration having a different coefficient than we thought it did, it actually benefits her more to have the Executioner or Titan's Bane at this stage. Iqbal also going to give a small amount, so it's good in that regard as well. So she's gaining a lot in this build. Next item more than likely is going to be the chin size. She'll likely round it out with that Titan's Bane for maximum damage. This will put her in a major position of power. But since the sprint, like we were saying, has been nerfed, this is going to allow her, this Fatalis, to stick to hard targets. At this point, your guess is as good as mine on who that might be.
Pain Beyond again pushing up in the mid lane. Pain has been so aggressive, and I think that's why we've seen this Athena. The taunt is being used on cooldown. It's not always for a win. Sometimes it's just to throw somebody off their tracks as he's dashing into a Xbalanque 4 levels his senior.
Yeah, and actually it doesn't take all that much damage. Now, Kabam does take back everything that he would have lost right there thanks to his lifesteal. Pain of Beyond, though, forcing him to not engage with his team in a fight that probably would have belonged to Cog there. Again, though, we're looking at Pern in the jungle here. Pain's trying to make a chance to get in there. He's slightly out of position. So is Salt Machine, though. Wiggle's taking some damage, but will jump away from the pull.
Noxious Fumes is down for a little bit. Chaos tried to stun the best underneath the tower. Wasn't able to nail it. Salt Machine separating Wukong from the rest of the pack. Aurora sees his buddy in a little bit of trouble. Shades over, but Meerkat able to get into that cloud.
Now, the difference there, you know, when we see Meerkat play, he doesn't do those auto attack cancels, whereas Salt Machine generally was on top of it the whole time right there, which is what allowed him to outbox Meerkat so plainly. Even so, we have all 5 members here still gesturing towards this side of the map. Fire Giant not available. They're trying to chase out Pernicus. There's no way they're catching him, though.
Nah, they were looking for Pern. They just wanted to make sure he wasn't able to fight this fight on the right-hand side. But Pern should be able to come back and go into the air. There's Kabam's ultimate. Will Cognitive make something happen off of it? Pain Divion, the subject of everybody's ire for some reason, still 50% HP. Pernicus lands in the backline on top of Vedium, but he's all by himself, and Salt Machine blows him up!
That was really big, because Vedium right there was able to do a lot of damage. Agni stops stops the teleport by stunning him in place. There we go. That's the ult that best needed. Was it enough, though? Was it enough, though? We're seeing Meerkat. No, he's out of position. Nice Ox. Vedium, though. Acid spray to the back. Gonna find it. Kabam versus 3.
Great Lord of the Afterlife. Kabam is just going to be cut out here by Vedium, and since he's on the run, Wiggles is here as well. Taking a look at Kali's build. The blink.
No. Not going to go for it.
Not going to chase.
Kabam was very smart, by the way. For those of you who saw that fight emerge and thought maybe he should turn around and try to box, he doesn't have any stacks on his passive. He had very low mana, which means no branching bolas. Vedium would have controlled that fight. Kabam, however, not going to be able to contest this, especially with Athena coming in. Fire Giant for enemy. And I don't think many people expected a hot 2-0 here, but it's shaping up to be that way.
Credit to Salt Machine there. The best, you mentioned it, had a beautiful ultimate. The reason best ultimate stayed alive for so long, Lord of the Afterlife hit him. He knew he was not going to be able to be healed. It eventually ran out, and because of the Lord of the Afterlife, no healing onto Best. Best goes down for the count to Osiris. So Salt Machine really understanding who to ultimate, not just for the damage that comes in, but with the but the secondary. So important to be able to use your character to the nth degree.
All right, so we have a Shield of the Underworld coming out. It's been there for a little bit, but this is going to be really big because having an Osiris in the front line that you can't hit back is extremely dangerous, especially when he's slowing attack speeds. He's able to control fights from the front. This is going to be really important because when he's slowing the attack speed of someone like Xbalanque and sticking to him and then dealing damage back while also removing the ability for that Xbalanque to lifesteal, that's a 100-0 matchup right there. And that's what we're looking for. Salt Machine has got to get to the back line, pop the big shield, and try to take down the carry. If that happens, it's going to be over. I also, though, do want to shout out Kabam once again. You know, he had the highest KDA last season thanks to subbing only in a few games. But this is one of the reasons. His team is getting pretty decimated here, and to that regard, he hasn't died yet.
Not yet right now. Looking to turn that around. Meerkat gets a stun right there. Kabam making his way to the fight, followed by Salt Machine. Salt Machine definitely wants to change what you just said. Cognitive set to play defense on this tier 2. Minions start pouring in. Pain Divion again with the aggressive taunts. Trying to find the best of the backline while Salt Machine takes out the tower. No problem. Now, Cog they want to play defense on these Phoenixes more than the towers.
That's right, but the issue here is they're bleeding, and they're bleeding heavily. All of this constant gold loss is going to spell real bad things. Pernicus gets picked off out of position. Salt Machine trying to control the area. You look at it. He's moving forward. He sees that they used all of their abilities, and he plays it forward. Tower goes down. They get a kill for nothing. They still have Fire Giant active for about another minute 50, so they're in a really good spot.
Ultimate coming out from Medusa, and here comes the counter engage from Cognitive Gaming. The ultimate of the best circle protection is already on cooldown, popped in the middle of nowhere, so that will not be able to be used for the red team. Knowing that, enemy seeps into the mid lane and takes out this Phoenix. Wiggles doing so much tower damage.
Left side Phoenix going to be rushed down as well. That Fire Giant buff really doing well there for sustainability. They're going to push up the wave here to get that extra backdoor protection removed. Make sure they increase their damage by a pretty significant amount. No, okay, they're going to retreat here. Let's switch to Golden Hand as we're going to see what they want to spend.
That's a decent amount.
It's almost 2K on everybody. Yeah, that's really big. And that's chin size for Kali.
Aurora trying to make things happen. Ultimate hits two are unaffected. Salt Machine, Shield of the Underworld, hitting everybody. Caban's basic, hurting him more than the enemy. Vedium takes out Aurora, who was already low because of the original initiation. Meerkat does turn a kill around. Vedium still going insane. That's a double kill. Not looking close to slowing down is the Hunter for enemy. He's going to go right into the Phoenix and take down this structure with the help of his friends. Best taunted! Where's Vedium?
Pain with a beautiful taunt stops Best. That was a guaranteed kill for Best had he not been CC'd, and Best knew that, which is why Pain went for the counterplay. That was a 5v4 right there, considering the fact that Kali had already been back in the base. She has her chin size online. She's bringing Athena back in. They're looking to close this one out.
They've got 3 in here, Brandon. The blink behind. Best eliminated! Pain to Beyond gets credit, but it's all Wiggles' damage. And again, the Titan suffers the same exact future. And he falls 2-0. Enemy Esports.
I don't know many players who would have expected this outcome. A lot of people called COG for this. They had kind of a dream team rosters, high-level challengers player, some even high-level SPL players. Aurora, DJ Pernicus, Best, these are not joke players.
Not in the slightest.
Kabam and Meerkat also have decent pedigrees themselves, either subbing or playing for high-level teams as well.
Enemy looking to say the same thing. These are not joke players. They go ahead and take it, not just 1, but 2-0. And that second game looked very, very strong from the get-go. And again, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention 2 First Bloods out of the Hunter from Enemy, who looked fantastic.
I think both times it comes down to the fact that Sylvanus is very weak in the early game right now against something like Athena Medusa.
Sure.
Especially when you couple it with something like, in that case, a Xbalanque who has no wave clear. But while I think Vedium did very well, it was Pain that set the kills up. He dashes through the wave, then throws the reach through the archers, hits Aurora to pull the melees back, shield walls for damage, and then taunts him back into the shield wall, ensuring the melees are going to stay there, clears the wave, does a ton of damage, stops Aurora's movement, and allows Vedium to get to the front line without taking minion damage.
And that's just in the lane. We saw a lot of setup later on from Pain to Beyond, going for the taunts every time that they could, and Osiris was really a large part of that game as well. We see Salt Machine actually going to be player of the game right here. A lot of judgment tethers, a lot of healing reduction coming out from that ultimate, and at the end of the game, 9-1-8 for the Lord of the Afterlife.
You know, and he played it really well, like you said, stripping away the healing from Best. He was sticking to the back line. The only death that Kabam suffered was him getting rushed down.
Right.
I think a lot of this also has to do with COG was maybe a little bit tilted. They didn't counter build. There was no attack speed reductions.
That was a big deal, and you know, I don't know if I said it, I certainly thought it in game 1. I don't like the Osiris pick. I don't really like Osiris this time around. That's what he's for. There's a healer. They're not a healer anymore.
Yeah.
And that is why I liked Osiris this time around. I like this pick. I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all character, but for this time, this is when you pick Osiris. Salt Machine plays it fantastically. 9-1-8, can't say anything else.
Just great play. Like, look at this. Shield of the Underworld proccing onto multiple people. He's controlling the space in front of him. He takes the CC, doesn't force out early beads, doesn't get baited into awkward situations, doesn't feel the need to buy into things like Magi's Blessing. He's just in the front line, using his tankiness, not always using not only using that tether to stun people, but to control people's damage.
Right. And knowing just how tanky he is, you saw, wasn't afraid to back off, go ahead and back. It's very, very important.
But the roster was put together by a man who received a lot of negative feedback, and his vindication has come. We have an interview here with Captain Pains of Yond.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Not too much, not too bad.
You got to be feeling great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. 2-0, good start. I know we're playing kind of at the end of the split, too. So, good start, good end, hopefully.
I'm going to ask you the question that I'm sure you expected. What went through your mind when you changed the roster, and were you as confident as you seem today that this roster would be a winning one?
People seem to think that I'm like an evil person and that I hate DJ Pernicus and that like I really wanted him to like not go into the SPL or something like that. But the simple reason why this happened is because I felt like playing with my current teams was more fun, is more satisfying versus playing with DJ Pernicus. By no means do I think that he's a bad player. I think this team had a lot of potential and has a lot of potential actually.
Sure.
Depending on if they keep on playing with Cognitive or not. And I feel that my current team, the only difference is that I'm the main shot caller, if I could say, for most of our team fights and objectives, versus with Pernicus, where it was more like a 60 him, 40 me.
Okay.
So it was more of his plan most of the times, which is fine for a team. But in my case, I felt like I was more like abiding to a plan than actually like trying to form it for myself.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
That's pretty much it.
I played the same way. You know, it's very hard for me to be on a team with another shot caller.
Mhm.
It gets awkward.
Yeah, we know.
I appreciate that a lot.
Again, and I've said it from the get-go, I respect the decision. It's good for me to know that that's where that really came from, the desire to be the main shot caller. And I mean, today it really worked out. A lot of your initiations, a lot of the fights were a big part of why you go ahead and take this 2-0. Do you expect, and I want you to be as honest as possible here, do you expect this to keep going against the top teams? Where do you see yourself as the season progresses?
We've practiced against a few of the teams, not all of them, but C9 Denial, mainly Denial recently. And we've had performances where I felt like our team was amazing, and some performances where I felt like there's like basics that we like lack sometimes.
Sure.
So we're like on and off, and in my opinion, I think we can make LAN. I think we'll make LAN actually.
So,
but I don't think we'll be first seeded. I think we'll be like probably third or fourth. And hopefully from there we can work into qualifying for Worlds.
I'll be honest. I predicted that you guys were going to be 8th all the way through. I did not see this roster working out, but I've been pleasantly proved wrong, man. The way that you guys played that set was really inspiring. And
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of challenger level players right there are seeing like, you know, these people getting takedown at ranked games, and you're putting this squad together out of nowhere and doing well. And I'm sure they're showing you a lot of fandom right now. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
excellent. So, I'll give you the platform that I give everybody. Is there anything you want to say to fans, friends, sponsors, enemies?
Yeah, shoutouts to Enemy for being so generous with us and supporting us despite us being a fairly new roster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also shoutouts to my ADC Vetium for being so sweaty. And yeah, good job, boys.
Fantastic as always. Thank you very much, Meatloaf. I mean, Pain Divion. Congratulations
Sweaty.
on those wins, and awesome to see. As you said, Brandon, I think it's cool to see. I think it's very exciting to see new faces with wins.
See, against that roster, and again, I go back to it, COG has a all-star roster.
And for what it's worth, I don't think this is their season. I think that COG will win a lot more games in the future. I don't think they're going to go 0-28.
No, I definitely agree, but if Enemy can keep up playing that well, if they can keep that fire going,
Oh yeah.
I agree with Payne. I can see them making LAN, and I'm very, very looking forward to Denial versus Enemy now.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one. That's also going to be it for us today here in the studio. Thank you to myself and everyone else, and we'll see you in a little bit.